Hello, good day everyone, and welcome. Ah, okay. Sorry, I was thinking that. Okay, I guess this. Okay, so I guess I was afraid on that a few seconds ago that my connection might have dropped. I was suffering, dropout issues a while ago, but it seems that everything is cleared out. So. Well, I guess that's good for me if that's the case. So yeah, as usual, we're going to go through the usual thing that we do on our fairs in playing the PvP style of Armored Core. So hopefully, I'm not gonna have some technical issues or dropouts. So yeah, let's anyway, let's start and yeah, let's go get over it. So yeah, just give me a second while I make some stuff here. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, so we're not sure on my chat box if it's working, but let's see how how will that end up. Okay, so far so good. We're doing great, even on our, even on our thing here. So yeah, yeah, we'll just go to the nest and play a game. Da, 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 da. Yeah, yeah, that's one of my regular programmings here. I guess on my live stream to play Armored Core 6, and yeah, I think it's a very great gameplay. So it's just around 7 o'clock. So I'm pretty much expecting that there's a lot of people now, or at least sizable people now applying on team matches. So there we go, we'll just begin and wait up for our next match. Also, I've been monitoring my my gameplay here, so in case if there's any problems, I could easily detect if so I got an external device. Earlier I was kind of worried if I was having a dropout thing. So there, we'll see how this goes. Okay, so there is no I'm not sure if there's anybody still awake playing these games. I mean, it's still a bit earlier at around 7 o'clock, but not as early as, well, actually it's almost 8 o'clock, but yeah, we'll see if there's anybody awake to play Armored Core 6 game. So as usual, I'm just gonna check on my YouTube feeds and see how things are doing. What's this? Okay. Bigfoot says overnight encountering. Yeah. And of course, this is me doing the live stream. Oh, what's this? Philippine Embassy advisor for Filipinos abroad: do not do this because oh, okay, maybe a travel, oh, dual citizenship is a green card holder, I guess, from the United States, and a Filipino thing. Anyway, a match is coming up, so good for us. Nice. It went faster than I was expected. Okay, so who's our guys? Meso, Shirone, and Kurumu. Okay, there we go. Okay, operator, that's me. Sen. Okay, basically new guys. Okay, there we go. Da 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 da. Oh crap. I always kind of forgot that blocking thing. Yeah, oh my goodness. Yep, definitely got him. Okay, here we go. Nice, nice.
At 30%.
Okay. I got hit on that. Okay, I got hit on that. Da 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 da. Oh my goodness. Da 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 da. Yep, the guy got it. Yep, definitely got me hit with that.
At 30%.
Right. Nice, nice. So, yeah, they're still winning about 4 points, so unless we whack someone, I don't think we are, the scores might change or anything. Yeah, oh well, what do you know, we did one. Okay, nice match, guys. So yeah, not bad for a first, first try on the match. Da-da, da-da. Da 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 da. Alright, let's just wait for the next match to come up, and as usual, I am just gonna check my YouTube feed here and see how things are doing. How was this? Bigfoot blog, I hook it up with Yeti's sister. Oh my goodness, how does he hook up with that, a Yeti? Da, 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 da. We interviewed the 300 Spartans before and after their final battle. Huh. Okay, I'd like to hear this one myself.
What's the strategy to win this battle?
The strategy is to die here with them.
Are you nervous about the overwhelming odds?
Nervous? I've been in my whole life for a death this beautiful, and I hope they I hope they bring more archers.
What are your scouts reporting?
That there are 300 of them. Combing their hair, we're not sure what it means. But our king is not amused.
Are 300 really enough?
For Persians, we might only need 10.
You joining the battle?
Only if someone makes a video about it. Speaking of, link in the description if you want to learn how. Does that actually help?
Actually, in reality, that's not exactly 300 troops. There
Not
are
really,
only
but
300 Spartans, but
looks terrifying.
there are other.
Okay, so it
you know,
started.
historically,
They're
there are
shouting,
other
spears.
troops there in
That guy
composition
just
on
bit
them.
someone. This
On
is
that
definitely
battle.
not a training montage.
How's the battle going?
We're strategically retreating behind this boulder.
Are you part of the army now?
Okay, Gorilla.
a helmet. I gave them nightmares.
Okay. Wow.
Any news?
Bad ones, they're sending more Persians. Okay, so that went less than ideal. Let's go check who's still breathing.
Okay.
Still standing?
Barely, but I think I scared one of them with my war scream. Or maybe my limp.
Okay.
What happened here?
I sneezed, dropped my torch. It's a long story.
Was it worth it?
Depends. Did we make the history books?
Well, the Spartans didn't win, but they did yell a lot. If you want to make
Okay.
videos like this, check links in the description.
Well,
Like and
that was interesting. Yeah.
There was over
One of
Greek
the
and
most
Thermopylae.
beautiful and talented.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and from my understanding on history, there were 300 Spartans, yes, but they were not the only ones on that battle. Yeah, I do agree on that, chat. And also, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, there were over 7,000 Greeks at Thermopylae. Yeah, I agree on that. There were a lot. It's not they just kind of over glorify and over romanticize that kind of stuff. In reality, it's not 300 troops who are fending off Xerxes' troops during that time. Okay, let me take a look at this.
The still gray waters of the Pacific.
Harry here. Vader's bitch ass is
Oh, we got
Harry
the
here.
Yeti
Vader's
here.
bitch ass.
Right. But we got a match coming up after a couple of minutes. Ta 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 ta. So who is our teammates and who are our opponents? Okay, some new guys. No. Why are you running? Definitely I don't know. Maybe new guys. Of course, teammates. Okay, most of it are regulars. Bonpu and Jesse. I kind of saw them a lot when it comes to regular matchups in Armored Core. So yeah, I'm hanging out with an oldies this time on this match. Okay, they should be around here somewhere. Yeah, probably they're hiding. Ah, this is a large map. Okay, finally got one. Oh, okay. He's also a flying user. Ah, God. Oh,
Actually ironic that the Spartans were remembered by history the most, since they were known more for their women than their soldiers.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, so I guess that means that the Spartans are more like, yeah, that's kind of funny, I'll be honest. They are more known for their women, so, I don't know, maybe their women are more of, more fierce than the guys. Just saying, of course, just saying. Alright, there we go. Yep. Okay, cracking that guy. Yep, yay.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Damn, I can't see a damn thing. Well, historically, based on historic lessons, I mean history lessons, Spartan life is very cruel. I mean, at least from what I interpreted on what I've been hearing on history lessons. Although I wasn't exactly a great fan of world history during my school times. Okay, there we go, got it. Okay, one down. There we go. Yeah, this is a very large map. I had trouble locating some guys. Oh wait, that's... Yep. Wait, why does everybody use flight
Their
weapons?
women were known to be beautiful, intelligent, and witty. Not to take anything away from the men, but they were not the best soldiers of the Greek world.
Yeah, that's also my impression, chat. They're not exactly the best soldiers. I think the only thing that made their society notable is because their society was highly militarized or very cruel. And I'm not sure about beautiful because or beautiful, intelligent, and witty. I think they're just ordinary Greek women as well. But I think the thing that I could stand out is because they could put a pencil on your eyeballs. In other words, I think Spartan women are more geared towards violence compared to other Greek women. At least that's from what I from what I interpreted on history books. But anyway, that's old history. I think the Greeks are more familiar on that kind of detail in history. I mean, I'm not a Greek, so I can't really say about that. Yeah, that's I mean, history-wise, based on from my interpretation, Sparta was, I think, one of the largest armies, land armies during that time. As for the navy, it was the Athens or Athenians who have the largest, naval fleets. So, and back then, warfare was only limited to two types of warfare: land and sea. But they're not the best. That's also my impression as well on the Spartans. They're not the best. It just so happens that they were the largest during that time. And they're very cruel. Oh, and one thing also notable on their society is that they're so heavily geared towards military that they kind of forgot other infrastructures on the war machine, like logistics, who's all the way down to who is washing their clothes or even cooking their food. So I guess history-wise, that's also one thing or criticism on that Greek, on the Spartan society. Their society kind of collapsed because they kind of lack the logistics to maintain that. They're more geared to warfare rather than other stuff, or at least logistics. Not exactly. They don't really have to divulge away from warfare, but they are so. I don't know, maybe so obsessed on that kind of thing on soldiers that they kind of forget the little things that make make the war machine work, like logistics, of course. Oh, okay, someone's playing Gundam. Right, okay, let me take a look.
And Sparta did start early, with the professional soldier part. Most armies in the early years of the Hellenic world were citizen soldiers.
Oh yes, that is indeed correct as well, chat. One thing that the Spartans did get right was the professional army part. Back then, I think there were just a thing, mostly being a soldier back in the ancient world was mostly a part-time job. It's like during summer season, I think they were mostly farmers, bakers, or something like that. Yeah, they have other things to do, in other words, and they were just only drafted or being called that during times of war on their city states. Now Spartan, yeah, the Spartan society, it's mostly that their citizens are mostly just soldiers. That's it. That's the only thing they do as a profession as well. They don't do farming and other stuff or civic society stuff. That's a great thing actually, because you have a dedicated personnel for warfare. But the bad part is that since this is ancient times, they kind of dedicate almost every one of their citizens to be soldiers. They kind of forgot the infrastructure and logistics part. So it has its pros and cons, I'll be honest, on that professional soldier thing. And up to now, that's also up to the modern world, up to this day. That's also, I think, the main basis where we have professional soldiers. I mean, like in any regular military here in the world, there are specific personnel only dedicated for combat and warfare. But don't get me wrong, there are other soldiers during peacetime also been doing civic stuff, but not all militaries, of course. So yeah, I guess that Spartan, I don't know, I think Spartan society is kind of a mix of those things. Oh, okay.
Pretty much every citizen was required to be part of the militia, and bring his own equipment. So wars were always done before harvesting season.
Yeah, that's, I agree on that, that's correct, chat. Usually I think warfare is always reserved for winter time, and summer everybody was, or during summer season everybody was kind of busy.
Spartans feared their slaves who had outnumbered their population 4-1. Their military obsession was the result of their fears.
Well, anyway, I guess that point in that part is somewhere where historians had to, discuss about. Well, Spartans, yeah. On my point, like I said earlier, Spartans are great on warfare because they have their own, they have their own, practical, almost all of their citizens are dedicated soldiers. But that's also the thing that they kind of suck at, because most of the other works like logistics, farming, even all the way down to simple industrial work are left to their slaves. So yeah, they have good reasons to be afraid, because there's a lot of people doing logistics rather than actual warfare. And even on today,
yes, Damas is correct. One of the reasons why Spartans were not the best soldiers was because they prepared more for a slave rebellion than anything else.
Oh, that I am not sure about that, of course. But I think that's something to deal with. I think a historian would actually properly answer that. That comment. Even I can't really answer that if that was correct or not. But given at what you said, 4-1, yeah, chances are the slaves would probably have some revolt or some kind. In other words, I guess Spartans are more of like an occupational peacekeeping force rather than than actual conventional warfare on their time. Maybe. But I'm not exactly sure. I think Spartans didn't exactly won in their warfare against Xerxes. I mean, the 300 were, the 300 Spartans were killed. So I could only think that Xerxes' army. I'm not familiar with history. Sorry. I probably have to do a quick browse on that.
And compared to others, Spartans really treated their helots like absolute dirt.
Yeah, that's correct. They treat their slaves. I'm not sure how to put that. But they something close to dirt. Yeah. I mean, there was even, I think, some sort of training manual for, I'm not sure if that was an exaggerated training manual on Greeks, on Spartans, that their youths are required to kill at least one slave during their training, which is kind of harsh. Kind of like, think of it as a mini purge. And if you're the unlucky slave who was out, I don't know, during that time, and some, just, I don't know, some wannabe Spartan was just seeking an honor, well, that's a bad, you know, a bad time for him to be outside the house. Because he's gonna go, well, he's gonna get murdered by some Spartan trainee. But I don't know if that was an exaggerated tale or not. We'll just go ask a historian about that.
AP at 50%.
But I kind of heard some tales like that, somewhere about that, something about that. About, you know, a Spartan youth during his training. Well, for a Spartan, if you're a Spartan trainee, now's the perfect time to just murder some innocent slaves for practice. But if you're the slave, oh my goodness, you're gonna have a very bad day. Then I'm kind of surprised. I mean, this. Okay, I guess it was not tackled on the history books on how the Spartan society collapsed, but I think it's probably might have said that there might be some sort of rebellion with that kind of society that they had, especially among the slaves. I don't know. I was just saying, of course. I mean, on how the way they treat slaves, I'm sure there's some sort of slave rebellion or internal slave rebellion on their society. I mean, Roman society had a lot of you know, uprisings like that. So I'm pretty sure Sparta also might have had that kind of thing sometime during its whole course of you know, the whole course of its society. Okay, where was I? Okay, I get distracted. Well, what do you know? It's already 3 minutes on that. Wow, that went by. Yeah, okay. Well,
Spartans are the greatest of warriors. I mean, look at Master Chief.
Oh, you mean the Halo franchise Spartans? Well, to be honest, they were just only copycats. They kind of took the name from ancient Greek, so it's not exactly an original concept when it comes to IT. Probably, you know, I don't know, maybe the creators of that program think that Spartans was a cool idea. Or they just kind of borrowed the idea, even though the Greeks owned that, you know, Sparta, the IP Spartans first.
I think there were a couple of Helot uprisings in Sparta, but I don't know the number and dates. LOL.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. So yeah, if Master Chief's a great warrior, yeah, but the Spartans thing, it wasn't exactly an original concept. The Greeks have the original IP on that. I mean, in universe wise on Halo. But of course, back then, I don't think they don't have copyright issues with that. Oh yeah, speaking of which, Halo franchise has such a great story, but I don't know, the latest story arc of Halo wasn't really that great, or something like that. Oh, okay, let's try. Oh, this is kind of interesting, on a writer's perspective.
Sarap ka Arcada,
I'm gonna play
Mr.
this
Candies.
one.
Soft and chewy
Oh,
candy
crap.
na may yummy filling. Mr. Candies.
Forgot your date?
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna continue that later. We still have a match coming up. So yeah, it's more like a script writing advice on videos who want to write their own fan fiction. Make sure that your plot lines or your story, world building story doesn't suck. Okay, we still got the old guys, Sen, Seo, and me. Not that I know those guys. Versus... Okay, I can recognize the middle guy, but Yohaku, maybe some random Japanese player, I don't know. Oh, crap. Okay, somebody just got disconnected. Yeah, well, that really happens. Okay, but anyway, given on that situation, so let's just go.
Keep cool.
Yeah.
Nivea Men is for skin.
Glory to the Empire and to this video's sponsor, Skillshare.
Okay, writing advice for world building.
Two writing styles, both alike in dignity. In fair YouTube videos where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge, break new mutiny.
Well,
where
I think
cliched
this
writing
something refers
makes
to the
cliched
Dune
stories
universe where there are
unclean.
ancient houses like
Our
monarchy
once
type
great
of,
house is in decline.
government.
The noble house
something
of
like that.
terrible writing advice teeters on the brink of collapse. I must restore this once great house to its rightful place by making a video on noble houses. Noble houses are a staple of many fantasy works and even quite a few science fiction ones. Navigating the complex web of intrigue of the cutthroat royal court can prove perilous even for a skilled writer. But you should trust me. With my connections, we can forge a powerful alliance that can propel even the amateur writer to greatness. Who knows? Anything is possible with enough ambition. Now where shall we start our gambit to ascend the throne? I suppose first we should do some world building and design our royal families.
Oh yeah, this
There
kind of
are
refers
a
to
lot
Game of
things to
Thrones where
consider.
there's a lot
Sigils,
of
elders,
noble
mottos,
houses.
uniforms, lineage, fiefdom, wealth, relics, history, traditions, home, vassals, oaths, lands, martial arts, ideology, secrets, organization, logistics, and what kind of food they like.
Oh my
Or
God,
we could
that's
give
a
them a
lot.
funny hat. Yeah, a single hat will substitute for all that other stuff. If we are feeling generous, then a writer can give each noble house a single personality trait that every member of the house shares. Don't want to break the creative bank on that one. Now, how many noble houses should make up our royal court? Well, there is House Good Guys, who are all noble and nice. They treat their subjects fairly, and their lands are always prosperous.
Okay, I just have to cut that short because we got the match coming up. Well, we'll probably have to continue on that thing. Yeah, well, that kind of script writing he mentioned, that's not exactly realistic because in reality, not all houses are good guys. So I think that's kind of like a Mary Sue noble house thing. Okay, so who we got? Kenya. Okay, some old guys, very light armor. Oh, okay, this one uses a flamethrower. Oh. And I thought I was the only one who used flamethrowers a lot.
House Farid.
House Farid. I'm not familiar with that. Is that Game of Thrones or something? House Farid. Yeah. I'm sorry. There's, you know, when it comes to monarchy type of government, even on science fiction, there's tons of noble houses. So yeah, well, yeah, I kind of had to think about that. Okay, there we go.
Gundam.
Oh, Gundam. Okay. Yeah, Gundam is a big universe. There's I mean, there's a lot. There's the Amurai, the guy, the main hero is Amurai. There's also the Gundam scene, which is more, well, more...
Dual wielding mobile suits hot.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there was, yeah, I think there was in the Gundam franchise where there is some sort of monarchy government. Okay, I'm not really familiar with Yeah, I'm not really familiar with practically almost all of the Gundam universe thing.
AP at 30%.
Oh, right, I got hit. Oh. Wow. Da, 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 da. Okay, so just wreak havoc on those guys here. Oh, okay. One's using a fire. Hey, come on. Looks like I got yeah, nice to meet a fire. You know, someone who a mech that uses a flamethrower. Come on, come on. I'm just gonna. Crap. Yep. And I got destroyed as well. And there we go. I just wish that sometimes in Armored Core their matches are 5 minutes. I think 3 minutes are really short for a match. Okay, but anyway, nice match, guys. And we'll go back to script writing lessons on how to write noble houses.
Regardless of their unrealistic and naive policies, they are opposed by house bad guys who are all evil and treat their peasants like crap, yet don't suffer from constant rebellions and haven't gone bankrupt despite spending all their money on torture devices rather than investing in industry. Then there is house background extras who probably won't even get a name. They are very important in keeping the balance of power in the royal court, but not so important that the writer put any effort into fleshing them out. We don't want other factions muddying our feud between house good guys and house bad guys. A third faction,
yeah, I got an idea where this is going at. I think he's referring to that
that's
noble
as
houses
absurd as
into
upcoming middle
franchise.
class of merchants looking to spread their influence into the royal court by means of marrying into the
Which is
aristocracy.
basically house
Can't
Atreides
have
in
that.
house
Give those
Harkonnen,
peasant
if I'm
merchants
not
an inch,
mistaken.
and next thing you know, they'll be whining about not having a constitution and an assembly. Then bam, constitutional monarch. That would be terrible because they would start wanting sensible things like representation or force the houses to stop their blood feuds that frequently result in casualties among bystanders. The Emperor won't allow that. It is very important that the houses keep their knives pointed at each other's throats and not his. After all, the only thing standing between the Emperor's throat and the other house's assassins is his elite royal guard. Luckily for the Emperor,
like
it never
That
occurs
makes
to the
sense.
royal guard that maybe the Emperor is blatantly incompetent since he keeps putting house bad guys in charge of important imperial assets that they proceed to ruin for the sake of being jerks. The thought never enters their head that maybe the captain of the royal guard could probably do a better job and he's merely one knife wound to the Emperor's back away from a promotion to the big chair.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure this
Historically
is a
speaking, a lot
criticism
of royal
on
guards were
the
actually
Dune
foreigners to make
franchise.
sure they had no
Which
ties to
I'm
any local
100%
factions and would
certain.
remain loyal to the royal they were guarding. Also, historically speaking, this usually didn't work very well. Thankfully for the protagonist of House Good Guys, the Royal Guard is nothing more than a slightly tougher minion to face off against after the story's halfway point when it's revealed that the Emperor is going to betray House Good Guys because we need to up the stakes. I mean because of political reasons that I don't need to go into. But where does all this intrigue take place? Why the Royal Court? The appearance, traditions, and culture of the Royal Court could be used for world building and can be unique enough to become a character all on its own. I intend to give my Royal Court the same loving care I give all my characters and use the standard off-the-shelf stock version. Royal courts are usually opulent with the nobles enjoying a life of unparalleled luxury. You can tell because everyone's sipping a glass of wine while being snooty. They plot and scheme on the sidelines, frequently disparaging those making presentations to the emperor or king of the court, all in an attempt to curry favor with the other courtgoers. Witty banter is essential as those from feuding houses clash with words within the court. The protagonist better have a quick wit or else lose prestige amongst the other nobles and face humiliation at the hands of his quick-tongued foe. Ugh, it's just like high school. Don't forget the thinly veiled threats. Now, witty dialogue is hard to write, so I better hit the mark. Ha! It's like I'm building a house because I nailed it! Just like that joke, because, you know, nails in a house, get it? Let's move on to the best part, the betrayal. House politics are full of betrayals. Too bad House
Yeah,
good guys
something
can't
like
see
that.
the traitor in their own ranks. Little do they suspect evil McScheming son. And how could they? I mean, he has a freaking goatee and dresses in all black. Clearly he blends in seamlessly into House good guys. His motive for turning on the
Oh my
house he
goodness.
serves? I don't know. His goatee told him to do it or something. Look, we gotta keep this moving. Now House good guys' only hope is that the Emperor will step in. Oh
Right.
no! The Emperor has decided to back House bad guys, being the bastion of competence that they are. Now comes the tragic fall of House Good Guys. Was the groundwork for the fall evident from the early part of the story? Was their fall a result of a noble character trait that prevented them from
Oh my
taking a
goodness, it
single
was a
ruthless
Game of
action
Thrones.
that could have saved the house? Were they simply outmaneuvered politically in a
dude,
master
yeah,
gambit
that
by
was I
cunning
was
league
pointing
of
out
foes?
a while ago.
No, House bad guys have a far more
Definitely that was.
devious and elegant plan. Rush in the front door with overwhelming numbers and stab everyone. That cunning plan must have taken forever to come to fruition. House Good Guys has fallen. But thankfully, the protagonist is now the sole survivor and will one day reclaim their rightful place and restore the house to its former glory by the final act, or at least some point in the series. The heroes
Yeah,
will get their
definitely
chance
that's
when
how
House
the
Bad
Doom
Guys betrays the
franchise
Emperor
works.
in their own bid for the throne. Who could have seen that coming? I am shocked that murdering psychopaths make for poor allies. During the confusion, the protagonist will seize the day and defeat the Emperor or House Bad Guys, whichever is still alive at the climax, and then ascend to the throne. House
Yeah,
Good Guys is
definitely
restored,
that's
and the
Doom.
feud ends.
100%.
The protagonist is Emperor now and reigns supreme. Or at least he would, if the newly established Constitution hadn't limited most of his executive powers.
My Emperor. This video's sponsor, Skillshare, has spending on Renar 7 has fallen behind.
Yeah, definitely that is how the way Dune story went. So yeah, that was an intelligent, witty vlog from you know, from a script writer's point of view. Okay, anyway, we got a match coming up, so let's go. Okay, they're flying, yeah, flying grenade rounds or something. Oh, crap. Yeah, that's what happens when you always are the bad guy. You get, blown up.
Then the good noble house becomes more and more corrupt by the generations LOL.
Agree, correct on that, chat. That's kind of more like a generic thing for, I don't know, that's usually the recycled theme of any other fantasy or monarchy type of world building thing on sci-fi. Just saying, of course. I mean, Dune was like that on what you suggested, the lighter generations became corrupt as well. I don't know about Game of Thrones. I'm pretty sure they were corrupt to begin with. Okay, well, what other sci-fi, or I mean, what other fiction that has a monarchy type of government? I think Gundam is also. I'm not sure about even that. I mean, if you think about it, even anime follows that kind of oh my goodness. Even anime, you know, anime follows that kind of plot route. You know, house bad guys versus house good guys, and the Emperor sides with the bad guys, and then yeah, the bad guys kinda try to backstab the Emperor, and then
Dune,
like,
I think.
yeah. So yeah, I guess there's you know, remarks that scriptwriter are really valid. I don't know. Dune. I didn't exactly go into details on that novel. I kind of, you know, but I'm familiar with that franchise as well too. But I think the most interesting only on those on the whole six, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, 6 novels. The Dune novel is the only one that's really interesting. The remaining other 5 were more like not that, it's not really that, the plot's not really that great. There's also a duology made by the author's son on Dune, but a lot of people who read that duology made by his son wasn't exactly happy, and there were plot changes, major plot changes. Dune has its own fair share of criticism, but despite that, they are still regarded to be I don't know, maybe they're still regarded as one of the best, well, not exactly best, maybe most popular sci-fi franchise in sci-fi literature. But if you think about it, yeah, they still fall, despite being one of the best and most popular sci-fi franchises. They kind of fall on that kind of category as well. Okay, I want to see who's what other criticisms does this writer will have to say on this one. Oh, how about alien invasion? Yeah, this is kind of common thing on sci-fi as well. And it's not really not that long. I think it's just only 5 minutes. Okay, alien invasions.
Are you itching to tell a fantastic tale about aliens from the distant stars? Great! Stories featuring aliens have as vast a possibilities.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna criticize Independence Day
or
the Independence Day movie
interactions
franchise.
with humanity? Should we have our spacefaring visitors from beyond the stars come in peace and open a dialogue with humankind? The prospects of peaceful coexistence with alien life is a near endless well of potential drama and an opportunity to explore deep themes about the nature of life and existence, which is why it's boring. Instead, let's just have our outer space visitors shoot at humanity with ray guns. That's much more exciting and won't make our audience uncomfortable with unpleasant existence.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, as much as interesting it is, we got a match coming up. But that's kind of interesting thing as well. You know, alien invasion is always the standard thing when it comes to sci-fi. Well, there's also scenario A, but I think that writer didn't kinda delve into that. That the boring, the first part where he says it's boring. If it's turns out on that kind of scenario, that's more like the Star Trek trope, but Star Trek franchise is kind of boring. I agree on that as well. And alien invasions or violent alien invasions are more there's more story on that kind of thing, as cheap as it might sound. Oh, I think Gundam franchise also has an alien invasion. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's Gundam 00. That I don't really know the full story, but it was kinda it was kinda mentioned on the Gundam anniversary of the franchise that Gundam 00 was the only unique Gundam when it comes to the story plot. It doesn't revolve about space colonies doing some uprising or throwing a space colony back on Earth, or hurling a space rock on Earth. Gundam 00, I think, was something about, alien invasion. Yeah, that's the typical staple in science fiction movies, alien invasion. But it does have its own. It's a hit and miss. It has its own merits and it has its generic plot, I guess. I mean, there are some alien invasion movies that did well in cinemas, like Independence Day. But any other alien invasion thing is kind of boring as well. Well, not exactly boring, but generic plot. Okay, there we go. Oh, we're actually doing right with this. Alright, we cleared that, guys. Who's next? Yeah, he's running. Okay, there we go. Nice. Target one guy. God, we missed. And I got
It's funny because they made a chibi summary foreshadowing it, but it was done comedically, so no one believed they were serious.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, he's on armor here, so... Yep, there we go. Back at that guy. Wait, where are the others? Oh, great. That's over quick. Okay, but that was a nice match. Nice match. And now we're gonna go back again on our script writing lessons for our fan fiction.
Central questions. So let's get ready to tell an exciting tale of alien invasion. Just follow my tips and you too can bring humankind to its knees at the heels or alien equivalent of our extraterrestrial overlords. Let's get started. Now some may make the mistake of overthinking the aliens' motivations for invading. This is not as difficult as it sounds. We could just have the aliens invade to steal Earth's natural resources like iron, water, or gold. Never mind that all these things can be found in abundance in space, and those don't have a hostile civilization with nuclear weapons defending them. Nor should the aliens consider trading some of their technology for natural resources, letting the humans do the work for them.
Yeah, that's a common plot hole in alien invasion movies or TV series,
rendering any
or even in science fiction in general.
Just mention in a throwaway line about how they are after Earth's resources and move on. I'm sure the audience wonon't question it at all, but why stop there?
Okay.
If we want to make the aliens extra evil, we could have them conquer Earth so they could devour us. Yes, for some reason the aliens want to eat us in spite of deadly biochemical barriers. Just make sure they don't discover the wide array of domesticated species that have far more meat on them and that don't have assault rifles. There are many other motivations we can give them as well, from using humans as a host for their offspring to attacking Earth for spamming out crappy YouTube videos. But if we can't think of anything, then don't worry. We can just have the aliens invade for no reason at all, and just hint that they have some greater motive. Now that we have the aliens' mandibles salivating at the prospect of conquering, time for the invasion to begin. Now, being a species powerful enough to bridge the vastness of space would obviously mean that they are highly intelligent, and thus would know the value of gathering key intel on human culture, assessing Earth's international political situation, and analyzing each nation's relative military strength, as well as sending a vanguard to infiltrate major population centers and gather real-time ground intelligence to assist the main invasion force. No doubt the aliens could even use diplomacy to play nation-states against one another, just like historic colonial powers. However, these tactics have two critical weaknesses. The first is that they were...
Alright, we're just gonna continue that later. Yeah, but that was, you know, some plot hole insights on those alien invasion plots thing in sci-fi. I mean, if it's always alien invasion, aliens are just basically wiping out humanity with lasers or something. Without even negotiating or asking even why they should wipe out humanity. In other words, it lacks general motive. I mean, for the alien bad guys on the sci-fi movie, it lacks the general motive on why they should wipe out humanity. Okay, we got Ayanami Ray, but he looks like more like 2B from Nier Automata. Okay, there we go. Oh crap. What the hell? Like, yeah, okay, I think I have some, yeah, controller error on that.
Motivation. Humanity's violence was once contained. But industrialization had caused us to rapidly advance as fears of our misdeeds began to rise amongst the remainder of the universe.
Yeah, but the thing here is that I guess story-wise or plot-wise, what's it gonna do?
We were the bad guys all along, and the aliens began becoming in likeness to us.
Yeah. But that's the thing about also a story plot hole on the sci-fi. Why does the alien mind the humanity's business or something like that? Unless humanity, like yourself, are the bad guys. I think there was a well, it's not exactly an alien invasion, but it's sci-fi. I mean, if I remember, you know James Cameron's Avatar sci-fi franchise, if you think about it, humanity is actually the bad guys there. Although, of course, the Na'vi are portrayed as more like a prehistoric version of Pocahontas, but that's how you know, that's how George Cameron kind of pointed out on you know, that Avatar franchise in his sci-fi. But it's not exactly alien invasion because there's no invasion at all, because humans are the aliens who invaded it, or at least it's an alien invasion, but not in the sense of humanity. So anyway, yeah, let's go continue on again with this lecture with yeah, with the script writer.
Require the author to actually know something about countries other than America. The other is that the audience will fall asleep at the words international politics. So make sure the aliens just rush in and start zapping major cities right off.
Yeah, and it's always America who always gets invited. How come
given the advanced
not say about Brazil? Why
Why
Brazil doesn't get invited by
key
aliens?
military targets, critical logistical infrastructure, and essential communication hubs. But this is completely wrong. Instead, the aliens should spend all their time destroying historic monuments. Naturally, our military should be completely ineffective at stopping the alien menace. Have our weapons prove useless against the aliens' war machines. Just be sure the army doesn't use any actual tactics and just stands there shooting ineffectively while being cut down by death rays. After a minor skirmish, the armed forces of humanity should instantly throw in the towel without changing tactics. Instead, they should escalate to using nuclear weapons, which of course will also prove useless against the aliens' plot shields. Whoops, I mean deflector shields. After the aliens easily defeat our strangely incompetent military forces, humanity will be on the verge
the script writer is kind of pointing out that Independence Day
we need to give our aliens a weakness. The aliens can be easily defeated by mankind's most powerful weapon, the love triangle. Not even the most powerful alien technology can save a story from being derailed by a love triangle. Little did the aliens know that the power of love can overcome all obstacles. Well, unless the story is targeted at a male demographic, in which case the aliens will succumb to the power of bullets. Just never mention why all of humanity's armed forces prove ineffective at stopping the aliens, while the protagonist manages to destroy legions of alien foes by himself with a crowbar. If one can't think of a weakness, then don't worry about writing
referring to Half-Life,
alien invasion
Valve's
so
sci-fi franchise
of
alien invasion.
Like having the advanced and highly intelligent aliens forget their inoculations and not invest into antivirus software. Regardless, the humans need to win the day in the end. It is very important that the aliens be completely defeated by a species so stupid they can't even make it to Mars.
Yeah, I think he has a point on that. It's I think that's the plot thing on okay, Monsters Manual. This is kind of okay, let's just see other things. World building, governments and politics, being original, fantasy, evil empires. Oh, okay, let's try Harry Potter. This is kind of interesting. Magic schools. It's also a feature, staple feature on anime manga. If you notice, there's always some sort of academy thing on anime and manga. So let's try to take a look at this one.
Do you remember your time in school? Do you long for your nostalgic youth?
Right.
No? Was it a time of deep confusion and unpleasantness filled with bullies and embarrassing moments? Would you rather do anything to avoid reliving that terrible time in your life? Or are you still trapped in the nightmarish hellscape of the American public education system? Well, that's okay, because now you can express those pent-up memories and emotions by writing about them. And by express, I mean take petty revenge. Yes, as an author, we can set our story in a fictional school or academy. But unlike real life, we are in complete control and thus can shape the setting, plot, and characters to our liking. That means that it is completely okay to go way overboard with wish fulfillment while indulging in our darkest revenge fantasies. That sounds healthy. After all, nothing says fun quite like the dry, sterile environment of academia. Now, the best part about fictional academies is that our students are there to learn about their special powers. Children with superpowers. That sounds like an excellent combination. Children and teens are well known for their excellent judgment and lack of cruelty, so let's instantly give them access to a full array of powers. Now, a few readers might be perplexed by this. After all, shouldn't our protagonist be attending this school in order to learn about their powers, gradually gaining mastery over them through time-consuming practice and careful study? Having a highly detailed training process also gives the reader plenty of time to learn the ins and outs of the story's magic system, while also fleshing out the setting. In addition, it makes the protagonist more sympathetic by actually forcing them to earn their powers, while also adding a layer of realism by showcasing the safety procedures the staff have in place to ensure the students don't hurt themselves or each other. But you know what is even better? Having our special protagonist already know everything there is to know about their powers and wielding that knowledge to show up the teachers. Earning things is for losers who don't take shortcuts, and our time is better spent detailing the protagonist's angsty teenage relationship drama. Speaking of relationships,
something about
we certainly
Harry Potter.
or gloss over the internal politics of academia. That should have no impact on the students' lives at all, since teachers only exist in the story to either praise the protagonist's unearned talent or as a minor antagonist that will be put in their place by the end. Another antagonist is the bully character. Every magical academy needs a host of stock bully characters who exist only to torment the protagonist and the protagonist's friends. The bully character must also be leagues behind the protagonist in terms of abilities and talents, magical or otherwise.
Okay, well, that was kind of interesting. That kind of reflects even on anime. That I have some sort of magical academy, there's a bully, and that bully happens to be, happens to be, what do you call this? Happens to be, has more skill than the actual main protagonist. Okay, there we go. 3 minutes, and yeah, let's engage in this, guys. Oh my goodness, why did I even take the charge with this one? Yeah, definitely got it, or at least knock it out. Off top. Yeah, definitely got a lot of hits on that. Staggered hits. Yeah, definitely this one's gonna get killed. Okay. Right, who's next? Yeah, I'm just gonna butt in with their kinda fights. Yep, there we go, got it. Oh, what the hell? Okay, there we go, bagged one guy. Oh, Jesus. My control is not working again. Alright, there we go. Ooh, okay, there.
AP at 50%.
Yeah. Yep, gotta detonate that. Wow, we got a very wild okay, there we go. Got him. Or at least he's staggered.
30%.
Oh, we got a very tight match here. Their points is 468 and our points are 471. Okay, what matter they lead their points by the 100. And yeah, let's just wait for the respawn. Okay, there we go, got him. But then I think they're gonna win with this one. Yep. But nice match, nice chaotic match. Yeah. Very good chaotic match, guys. Oh, Jesus. My control is always not working. Yeah, that's the thing about controllers. Sometimes, anyways, some hardware that I needed to fix up. So let's go back to the script writing about magic schools, which is a common
bully character
thing.
must either be a one-dimensional straw man with zero redeeming qualities, or a thinly veiled caricature of someone the author knows in real life. Not that I would ever do that. After all, I have a YouTube channel with hundreds of subscribers, a well-reviewed book on Amazon, and a website. Justin, what do you have? Nothing! Who's the loser now? Shows you for making fun of me freshman year.
Alright.
Sorry. Where was I? Oh, right. Now the rest of the students should also be stock characters. Don't forget the one or more love interest. Now let's take another look at the school itself. Since this is an institution of learning for developing and vulnerable young minds, it obviously needs lots of unexplored labyrinths full of dangerous traps and deadly secrets. Have the teacher forbid these places after pointing them out to the students. We all know that children and teenagers always do what they are told. Parents should have no second thoughts about sending their children to a school that houses dangerous mystical artifacts and guards them with terrifying monsters. Nor should any government authority investigate the school for numerous safety violations. It's not like they would notice anything odd while the school turns into a massive battleground between the forces of good and evil. Thankfully, the teachers are on hand to deal with trouble. Unfortunately, they are completely worthless and will prove entirely ineffective at saving the school. They may even get in the way of the protagonist and refuse to listen to any warnings. In the end, the overpowered protagonist will have to save the day and the school. Don't forget to contrive a way to make sure the protagonist confronts the villain alone. We can't have other characters hogging the glory. After defeating the main antagonist, don't forget to take time to humiliate all of the bullies who picked on me. I mean the protagonist. Be sure to really rub it in and that the bully suffers for their earlier transgressions. Make sure they get their just desserts, even if it means we don't have time to address what kind of grades the protagonist made, or even if they passed a semester. We have to keep perspective on what's really important, and that's proving all those jerks were wrong.
Right.
JP Bobian here.
Okay, that was kind of interesting thing. Speaking of which, let's see what is a Mary Sue concept? Writing advice, the perfect protagonist.
One thing every story needs is a protagonist. But what kind of protagonist, one might ask? Why a perfect one, of course. Let's get started. At first, creating the perfect protagonist may seem like a daunting task, but don't worry. Let's just start with a name.
Okay. Well, we'll just continue that after the match. It's really uninteresting because there's a lot of Mary Sues on movies, either sci-fi, fantasy, or even even on drama. So yeah, we'll probably have to delve with that on that video after this match. I mean, Star Wars is one such example. I mean, the new the one that was made by Disney. It's kind of like suffers from a Mary Sue concept. Oh, even novels, they also suffer from that kind of thing. A Mary Sue concept where the main character is so perfect, or something like that. All right, let's just wait. Oh, great. Don't tell me. I have a feeling that this match is already cancelled because it takes a long time for it to connect. Okay. Well, Japanese guys, definitely. Hopefully none of them are gatekeepers. RA Milwaukee Company. Yeah, I kind of fought Milwaukee Company on several matches ago. Okay, let's get started and on with the match. Yep, definitely here. Oh, okay. Yep. Purple guy, definitely, oh god, flies a lot. Yep. Well, at least I did stun him. The guy who's, shooting me with, you know, a dual shotgun.
It's funny because the term of a Mary Sue was created because a character by the same name was made to bash on Star Trek fan fictions, LOL.
Oh, that I didn't know. That's good information. So, yeah, that was kind of interesting. No, seriously, I didn't know that about that. I think I just only know Mary Sue as more like some sort of nickname from a character who's too perfect, but that's it. But that was interesting. I did not know that the origins of Mary Sue was actually from the Star Trek franchise. I mean, actually, if you think about it, that Mary Sue concept is practically almost on every other franchise or every other movies. Either American, Western, European, Japanese, even Southeast Asians, they have that kind of Mary Sue, Mary Sue flaw on those movies. And it's not only limited on science fiction, even on regular, even on drama, they have a Mary Sue kind of thing. Or Mary Sue flaw. Heck, even on novels, there's a thing called there's also a Mary, I could even name some novels. And the novels that are not...
Yet it was created as a joke in the first place.
Yeah. But that joke, believe it or not, has valid points. I mean, the character was too perfect, which, in other words, it's not exactly likable. I mean, there are also on 80s movies, if you think about 80s or 70s movies, they also have a Mary Sue thing. I didn't know. I was just kind of, a joke that turned out to be a very, very good concept now, or I mean, a very valid concept now.
Have you watched Yujo Senki?
Yujo Senki. I can't remember that, but I'm pretty sure I kind of watched that. But there's so many animes that I kind of watch. I can't remember the title of that one. Yujo Senki. I'm sorry. There's a lot of titles in the anime. I can't really recall on that Yujo Senki thing. I'm sorry.
We will call our protagonist.
Oh wait, just give me a second. Yujo Senki. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Oh, no. Okay, I thought it was Wait, you're serious? You mean Tanya? Yeah, I kind of know that anime. I mean, Tanya is basically...
We are already halfway done. Utterly lacking in self-awareness? Perfect. They say write what you know, and almost everyone knows themselves better than anyone else. So just put yourself into the story. Some might worry that they will make for a poor protagonist. Fear not. That's just because we need to get rid of the one thing that makes audiences not identify with the character. Flaws.
But, yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
Just scrub all of your flaws away and make your protagonist an idealized version of yourself. Now that we removed all flaws, let's start adding strengths. Let's make Mary Sue young, if not immortal, because she's a half-dragon, half-vampire, half-angel, half-elven princess. Always have everyone else describe her as beautiful, while she remains completely unaware of her own gorgeous looks. Have her be so attractive that guys literally fight over her. But make sure Mary Sue is never actually smart enough to figure out why. That would make her look vain, which is a flaw. Now some of you might believe that flaws make characters believable and are a useful tool for humanizing our protagonist. That means if we must give Mary Sue flaws, then we should give her things like she cares too much, or she's too kind and selfless. We can even have her die tragically at the end of the story and say that she was simply too good for this sinful earth. It's okay. We can always resurrect her later. If we need to add some drama, we could always give her a tragic backstory that she constantly angst about, but never actually affects her outside of getting her pity points with the other characters. But before that, we need to make sure that everyone knows Mary Sue is special. Have a prophecy in the story? Make sure it's all about her. Is Mary Sue not in the scene? Have every other character there talk about her. Shifting focus to the villains? Make sure they don't waste time actually running their evil empire or otherwise bringing their dark desires to fruition. Instead, they should be worrying about what Mary Sue is doing or plotting to take her for themselves. Does Mary Sue have parents? Make sure they are either outrageously abusive or perfect except for being tragically dead, or both. Have her real special parents killed in the backstory while she is stuck with abusive normal foster parents. If they are abusive, make sure they inflict terrible atrocities upon her, like forcing her to wear dresses or attending school to better her education. Need to make a clear distinction between good and evil characters? Mary Sue makes it easy. If a character disagrees with her, then they are most certainly a bad guy, while all those who agree with her are 100% virtuous without fail. This removes any character who can call out Mary Sue for her mistakes, which she never makes, so it isn't needed. One thing to watch out for is to ensure that Mary Sue never fails. Have her effortlessly overcome every challenge. Make sure she bests all veteran characters in setting in spite of having only a fraction of the experience. Are the villains ruthless and supremely powerful? Not compared to Mary Sue. They should crumble before her in the most anticlimactic way possible. Just like the story's narrative stakes. It's not like our readers actually want to see close contest. If any villain ever manages to actually hurt Mary Sue or any of her friends, make sure she dishes out 100-fold more than she receives. Ensure that she makes the villain suffer far more than she did, and that she shows him no remorse. After all, we don't want Mary Sue to display unheroic traits like mercy or forgiveness. Is Mary Sue starting to look a lot like the villain she's fighting? We could use their similarities to show Mary Sue's flaws while highlighting the positive traits of the villain to showcase the story's deep themes about the razor-edge difference between heroes and villains, adding a layer of depth to both the story's symbolism and characterization. But that's dumb. We don't want the audience to actually think about depressing stuff like that. Thankfully, this is easy to fix. Simply make the villain even more despicable for extra contrast. That should stop the audience from rooting for him. Now we have the perfect protagonist for our story. Good luck, and may your story be too good for this sinful earth. Wait. I don't think this will work. My self-insert should be a guy. There, I'll call him Marty Stew.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we got a match coming up. Right, just in time. Nice. Well, in the case of Tanya Duchoff, I think the story is still ongoing, but well, yeah. Basically, I also I did watch the anime from 1 to episode 12. It doesn't really have any second season, but I'm not sure honestly if Tanya Duchoff is a Mary Sue, but she does have some qualities that might be tagged along as Mary Sue, like he never lost a battle or something. But he's more like an anti-hero, or at least the main character. Not exactly anti-hero, but he's a main character, but he's actually doing what the bad guy actually does. Okay. Oh crap, what the hell?
AP at 30%.
Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, I got hit by that. Alright, let's just wait for respawn. Those lightings are really getting on. Okay, let's just wait for respawn. Oh god, my control is not working.
Yeah, LOL. But there is a literal character named Mary Sue in Mujo Senki though. She is the supposed protagonist to the villain that is Tanya, haha.
Oh, okay. Wow, I haven't checked on that. Wait a second, chat. Are you referring to the manga and not on the anime? I can't really recall on the anime that they had mentioned a Mary Sue type of character. I mean, not that I recall it, of course. But, you know, Yu Joseki is a very original twist, story-wise, because, you know, mostly they prefer one-dimensional character. You know, the main character in Isekai is always overpowered, something like that. But Yu Joseki, well, Tanya is still overpowered, of course, but they're not exactly being portrayed as a good guy. Okay. Oh, sorry, I got it. I got ganged up. And there we go. That concludes our 3-minute run-in with those guys. Nice, nice. Okay, monster manual.
Yeah, it's a very unique Ice Guy, lol, one of my favorites.
Okay, well, awful. Okay, I'm just gonna. Sorry, I was just clicking on that YouTube ads thing.
Do you hear that?
But yeah, story-wise, Yu Joseki was an original concept. At least from my perspective.
It's terrible writing advice's long overdue video on designing monsters. Monsters are one of my favorite things ever, right behind robots and robots fighting monsters. Monster design is a key skill for writers and dungeon masters alike. That's why I can't wait to bare my fangs and dig into monstrous monsters. From brutish beasts, fearsome foes, and even deadly drakes. Terrible writing advice descends into the dark layer of writing monsters to slay the beast of bad writing once and for all. And like all good monster hunters, I have done zero preparation. So I'm sure this will all turn out well. Don't you worry though, let TWA show every writer the proper entry in the monster manual so we will all know how to slay the beast and level up our writing. Before we charge into the dragon's den, I think it might be helpful to understand why we love monsters. Monsters are a nearly universal cultural idea and can be found in almost every mythology. They appeal to our more basic instincts: fear of the predator, fear of the unknown, deep, raw, visceral fears of being eaten that stretch back to when the first cellular organisms learned to avoid predation, an instinct honed through millions of years of evolution. Yet dig deeper. Humanity once huddled in the dark, surrounded by danger. We were prey animals, until one day we discovered fire to drive back the dark, and spears to pierce the heart of the things that hunted us. The hunted became the hunter. Fight or flight. We fought. Fangs and claws met spear and shield. The desire to slay the beast still beats in the heart of every human. To take up the spear once again and protect our home from the eyes that prowl in the dark. Our soul still yearns to be a hunter. The modern world has slain the great Leviathan.
Okay. We'll just continue that. We got a match coming up. Okay, Haguruma, Summer, and of course me. That's my teammates. And who's our opponents? Kotaro Wooden Fish. Oh, okay. Akibia, I kind of fought him quite in short time ago. Okay. Alright, let's just go hunt these guys. Oh crap. Yeah, someone's on my back. I should have known. It's one thing, if someone's shooting at me, I'm really sure that someone's chasing me. That's why I had to detonate my assault armor. Just to stun them, of course. Okay, there we go. That's another one. Okay, we got another. Oh crap! What? My control's not working again. Okay, let's just wait for respawn. Da 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 da. Okay, we got. Oh my, we got a lot of guns. Yep, there we go. And I got him. Yep, there we go. Got it. Okay, got him. That's the third guy. And yeah, they got me. Da 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 da. Alright, there we go. Yep, got him. Nice, nice. Oh crap, my controller's not working again. Okay, nice, nice. There we go, and that concludes our our match. Our 3-minute match. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Let's just go back again with our lectures for. Oh my goodness! It's almost wow! It's almost 1 hour and 30 minutes now. Okay, so I'm just going in for my last fight on this live stream session, and I'll call in a short break.
Of old, we sit in our chairs and stare at our screens all day while and protect our home from the eye. Humans. Too bad the military doesn't have any both player characters and written characters for reason. The next thing to consider is what role the monster plays in the story. This can range from the main antagonist, anti-hero, anti-villain, protagonist to a disposable goon. Thankfully, this doesn't require a writer to envision what kind of emotion the monster is supposed to elicit from the audience and then tweak the design accordingly. I want a monster here is good enough. Another facet to consider in basic monster design is if to put the focus on details and internal consistency, or instead put focus on spectacle and presentation. The thing to keep in mind is that whether the writer uses substance or style in designing their monsters is that neither of those require effort to pull off. Monsters are still subject to the principle of the conservation of details. Conservation of details means that I can ignore details freely and design monsters without consideration of said details. Details like the monster's habitat. How does the monster blend in with its environment? Is it part of the
Okay, right. That was an interesting concept, especially if you're making a franchise on Godzilla or any kaiju-related monsters. Oh, okay, that was interesting. They got a unique logo, like Microsoft Word on that, or Microsoft Office. Got Tech Gear, Doas, and Yuri. Okay, so this will be my final match for this live stream session, so let's make the best out of it, and hopefully my controller doesn't break in the middle of it. Okay, so we're doing great. So okay, there we go. Oh crap. Yeah, oh, right, okay, there were a lot of laser beams flying around. So it's only a matter of time before I get peppered with one. Yep, there's always the battlefield thing. Oh, crap. There we go. Yeah, I know someone is already here. Right, there we go. We got it. Yep, he's definitely gone. Oh crap. Yeah, got hit with that electrical charge with that one. And I got hit on that as well. Well, we got a very chaotic battle right now. Okay, one down. Oh, there we go.
30%.
Oh, right. And I got you. Okay, there we go. Nice, guys. Nice. And there we go. That was a great time in playing Armored Core 16 matchups. So thank you everyone for watching, and thank you again everyone for dropping by with dropping by on my live stream session. Thank you, Slobodan, Tomic, Adamus, and all other guys who I have kind of forgot to mention. So thank you around, and I hope to see you soon on our next live stream session. So bye bye guys, we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Farewell, friend. And remember, don't forget to smile.